Tensions are rising in the GOP. It still looks like Donald Trump is on the path to the Republican nomination, but some in the GOP are hoping a brokered convention could lead to an alternative candidate. The Donald is saying there could be riots if the party forces through another candidate at a convention. A secret meeting within the Republican Party was held Thursday to find a way to avoid nominating Donald Trump and his competitor, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who's currently second in the delegate count. So what are the chances of a contested convention actually happening? And who would be the nominee? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page and on Twitter. Use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel led by our senior legal analyst, Chris Tritico. We have our Democratic media consultant, Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. All right, good morning again, guys.
Good morning.
So where does this go this week?
This is the craziest nominating process I've ever seen in my lifetime. This the Republicans are really just busting at the seams for the way this is going. Donald Trump is throwing this party into a complete disarray. He's calling for riots, and it's happening. John Boehner came out this week and said that he would support Paul Ryan at the convention, which is what caused Donald Trump to say there would be riots at the convention if he didn't get the nomination. It is throwing the party into complete disarray. They had this meeting this week, Jackie Bally, where the party elite in a private meeting was trying to find a way to broker the convention, to find some way to get somebody else to get the nomination other than Donald Trump. The party is in complete disarray. Wouldn't you agree?
People forget that in 2008, the Democrat Party went through the same thing. Whenever you had a newcomer like Barack Obama, he threw everybody because Hillary was supposed to walk in there with the nomination. It was Hillary during the convention who said, let's rally around Barack Obama. So let's fast forward to where we are now. You have someone like Senator Ted Cruz, who is a newcomer, and he pretty much was disliked by a lot of the people in the main establishment. And then you have someone who's not a politician at all, like a Donald Trump. And then, of course, the establishment are having a problem with this. Going into the convention, Donald Trump will probably have around 1,100 if he doesn't have all the necessary 1237. And the statement that Donald Trump, and for full disclosure, I am not a fan of Donald Trump's. I don't agree with half of the statements he makes. And
you are working for the Ted Cruz campaign.
I am a full supporter for Ted Cruz. But he didn't say that there are going to be riots. He said, if I don't get the nomination, there may be rioting. And, you know, based on what we're seeing from people who are coming to all of his events, these are a lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals, they're coming to his events, they're already rioting right now. And I love the fact that these liberals are saying, we're coming because we don't like the hatred that Donald Trump is spreading, but they're spreading hatred at his events.
Ted Cruz is now pivoting to the middle, trying to get the establishment. Ted Cruz came in saying, I'm not establishment, I'm an outsider, I don't like the establishment, when he ran for the Senate. Now he's pivoting to the middle because Donald Trump stole his thunder. How does Ted Cruz attract the establishment?
Isn't it funny, like Ted Cruz pivoting to the middle? Look, the Republican Party is going through a change, and I think many people are saying that Donald Trump is not going to have the 1237 delegates. I think he will. It used to be that Donald Trump's ceiling was 35% of the vote, but after last Super Tuesday, what we learned is that that is really his floor. In Florida, he got 45% of the vote. So his vote is actually growing. And so he's likely to have the 1237 and walk away with the nomination. And if it doesn't have 1237, he'll have it so close that they won't be able to deny it. This is the new Republican Party, and Donald Trump is the face of this new Republican Party.
So what happens, talk to me then, what happens if he has the votes to get the nomination? If they deny him that at the convention, what happens?
Well, I don't think his supporters will stand for it, nor will he. And he is the new Republican Party. It's not that, you know, the Republican Party is at a fracture. Donald Trump represents the Republican primary voters of today.
Jackie?
I do believe that he has a very good shot of getting the 1237 going into the convention. To answer several questions that are being posed, if he goes into the convention with the 1237, we will honor our process. That's the process. And even our candidate, Ted Cruz, has said he will support whomever the nominee is. If, for instance, he goes into it without that 1237, Ted has a pretty good ground game to try to get the delegate delegate number.
Now, and we got to go to Apple. We got to go to Sally, but I want to real quick. There has been a whole host of Republicans that have been saying if he gets the nomination, they will mount a third-party campaign. Doesn't that put Hillary Clinton straight in the White House?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this has happened before. It's not the first time in American politics that because a third party broke up, that another party had an advantage.
Republicans are going to rally around the nominee, even if it's Donald Trump.
All right, let's go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
Hey, let's take a look at Twitter. Our first one is from this gentleman. He says Paul Ryan won't accept the nomination and says the nominee should be someone who ran this year. In other words, you break it, you buy it. Yeah, Ryan coming out this week saying to Boehner, you know, this is not for me. This person says anyone wanting a brokered convention to elect a president by the politicians and not the people is unworthy of any office. And then switching to the Democrats now, this person says, love the still Sanders trend. We're not giving up because it's so not over. Bernie or bust. A lot of Sanders faithful pushing for people to pledge to vote for the Green Party if Sanders is not the Democratic nominee. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a huge problem for the Democratic Party. I want to go to, we got less than a minute left, and I want to talk about that. This popped up in the last 2 weeks, this Bernie or bust movement that, you know, the Democrats are watching the Republicans just implode. They were poised maybe to even take the Senate back. Now this Bernie or bust thing, poised to take, if Bernie doesn't get it, vote for the Green Party. What's that going to do?
Well, Bernie has said that he's a socialist, and he's quite opposite on Hillary on a lot of issues. People who are supporting Bernie are not really identifying with the Democrat Party. They're identifying with outside of the party. So you will see a lot of those people looking for someone besides Hillary to vote for.
What's this going to do to Hillary Clinton if this Bernie or bust thing takes hold?
It won't. I mean, Hillary Clinton's going to get the nomination. Bernie Sanders is going to stand at the convention and support her, endorse her, and urge people to vote for her.